Lil Tjay is an artist I've been listening to for years. Contrary to popular belief, I actually think his voice and melodies are super dope, and I love the emotion that his songs provoke. His flows are clean and unique, and he can go from making a lovey-dovey type song to a hard, trappy drill type of song. It's absolutely insane. Like him or not, I think we were all pretty scared on June 22nd.
A double shooting involving a Bronx rapper.
We have since learned that that person is rapper Lil Tjay.
Sources say Lil Tjay was shot multiple times and was rushed to a nearby trauma center.
I remember opening up Twitter every single day to check if he had woken up, and it wasn't looking too good. Luckily for everyone, he pulled through, and he just gave us the best 16 songs talking about everything that happened. So of course in this video I'm going to be making a beat for that album, and you guys are going to go down in the comments and let me know if you think I would make it or not. I've been waiting for this project for a long time, and recently I've just been making a bunch of sad piano samples so that I can use in this video. I made some that I'm super proud of, and I wanted to show you guys a few. If you're a producer and you liked any of those, I'm working on a free loop kit that's full of loops just like those. If you're interested, all you have to do is follow me on Instagram, and that's how I'm going to keep you guys updated. In this video though, I'm going to be breaking down and using the sample I made the other day. First thing I did was open up this piano from Keyscape. I like the softest preset because typically emotional type of loops and melodies are associated with like soft and gentle pianos, so this preset is perfect for that. I laid down a simple 1-5-4 chord progression in the key of G minor. 1-5-4 in a minor scale is associated with like a sad, emotional type of feeling, so that's perfect for what we're going for. I made simple triads, and then for this one I just pitched it up an octave, and then these two I left alone, and then in the second half right here I added this C note just for some variation. I messed with the velocities down here, and then I also strummed these chords just to kind of give it more of like a human feel. I took the exact same pattern and then copied it to a different piano, and then after that I just pitched everything up by an octave. This just adds like another layer to the piano, and it really helps fill out the entire sample in the end. As far as effects go for these two pianos, all I did was I took out some lows and highs just to make room for the other instruments that I added later on. Starting with a good chord progression is typically how I like to start these loops, and then after that I open up a second piano and just add like all the filler and transition notes. These are the notes that help the piano just have some more movement rather than it just being some boring chord progression the whole time. For these filler notes, I like to go with a different piano sound, that way I have the option to add different effects than the chord progression piano. I cut the lows so it wasn't clashing with the chord progression. I added a chorus effect and turned down the mix knob. This just kind of gives it more of like a wobble effect. And then of course I threw on some reverb afterward. After that I added one last piano for the top line melody. You want these notes to be super high up in the frequency range, that way they stand out over all the other pianos. And you also want these notes to be sort of repetitive, that way they keep the listener engaged. Of course you can come in and add some variation as you see fit, but these repetitive notes right here are going to be what makes the listener remember your melody, and it makes it more catchy. So with all the pianos put together, this is how the sample sounds so far. So that's already sounding super good, but in order to fill out the rest of the sample, you're going to want to add textures and atmospheres. Of course, I went into Splice and I got these two vocal chops to add. Even if you don't have something like Splice or Arcade, you can still make these vocal chops on your own, even if you don't know how to sing or you're embarrassed.
I know it's hard to remember.
Don't worry about it, you're gonna add a ton of effects on them at the end to where you're not even gonna be able to tell it's you. Since these were already pretty heavily affected, the only thing I did was add some reverb, and then on this second one I took out some of the highs to kind of match the first one. And then I also panned both of them 25 to the left and 25 to the right. Next thing I got from Splice was this little repeating synth pattern. So if you have any sort of ears, you know that that's super harsh and annoying, and you can't leave that playing the whole time. So what I did was I took the first 2 bars of it and I had it fade up right here. I tucked it way in the back, and then I also drowned it in some reverb. Little bits of ear candy like this are such a great way to keep the listener engaged and your sample not boring. Last thing I got from Splice was this little perk loop right here. It's super tucked in the back, and all it does is just add some rhythm and takes up extra space. Then finally I got this little one-shot sub bass that's just following the root notes of the chords. So I drug the sample into a new project, and I'm just gonna throw some drums on it and see what I come up with. So I love the way this beat came out. I think it matches the vibe of the album perfectly. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I like the sample I created. I put some open drums on there just for an artist to kind of catch a flow easier. I think I did pretty well, but like I said, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I appreciate all the support, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.